So, Ben, it's finally here. Callum Simpson, Oakwell, European title. How big is this fight?
It's a massive fight. It's a massive fight for Callum. I mean, I remember when he came to Manchester, and to think back then, no one knew who he was. He came to Manchester, came to see me, found me in a hotel, pitched what his vision was, who he was, everything that he'd done, the fans that he had. Obviously, been looking at him for a while, and to think from that conversation to now, you know, he deserves it. He's worked for every single fight, he's worked for every single moment. But to be here now with a full stadium for a European title, you know, usually fighters only will get to a stadium really when they're fighting for a world title, just because it takes that long to build a fan base. But he has built the most ridiculous fan base so early on in his career. So look, if he can come through on Saturday night, we have an absolute superstar in British boxing.
And obviously he just keeps winning, but does that massive fan base and that expectation in a fighter sometimes create a bit of too much too soon? Do you sometimes wonder if you need to pump the brakes a little bit? Because a lot of people would say Callum Simpson could go in and win a world title tomorrow.
Look, I think he understands. He wants to do things the traditional way. You always see if you skip that step, you can sometimes pay for it. I think for us, we're onto something here with Callum. We see him snowballing in popularity. It's his second headline of the year, which is massive, and things are going well. No need to rush it. I think wins a European, and then it is world level. You know, you look at Canelo there now. Those titles probably come vacant or end of the year, and that's what he wants. He's done the British, done the Commonwealth. Hopefully, he does the European on Saturday night, and then he can fight for a world title.
I was speaking to him before, and he actually told me he wouldn't mind Canelo himself. I mean, is that something that is a possibility?
Canelo wants to fight in the UK, doesn't he? So look. There's not many fighters that can sell out stadiums. There's not many fighters that have this much popularity. He wants the big fights. He's a superstar in the making. It is early days in terms of getting to that level, but he's not far off. As long as he keeps winning, those big names are going to want to fight him.
And I called you Ben at the start of this interview. I don't think that's the full accolade anymore. British Boxing Hall of Famer Ben Shalom. How does that feel?
Too young for me.
Too young. You'd have rather waited.
I usually Hall of Fame. I think of someone very old, towards the end of their career. You know, maybe a Frank Warren. No, I'm only messing. I think it's obviously an honour. I didn't see that. I feel a lot older than I am. We've done a lot. We've put on some amazing shows, but we're still new, and I'm sure there's a lot more to achieve.
And speaking about big things coming in the future, of Adam Azim, a late addition to this card. How did that come about?
Look, we organising a fight for him right as we speak, and we had a couple of pull-outs on this, and to be honest, I messaged a few of the lads in our stable, said, look, who wants to fight? You know, we got a spot here, 2 weeks to go, and Adam was the first one. He's always fit, he's always ready, he's always desperate to fight, and with the fight coming up, it just made sense. So credit to him. It's a special edition. It's great for Callum's undercard to have a star like that on the card, and then we can announce something special.
And it feels a little bit appropriate because Callum is someone, of course, who has answered that sort of call in the past. I think about the Elvis Ahorge fight, things like that. It's almost appropriate that a big name is stepping in for his undercard now.
Exactly. Look, you're right. I didn't think about that. Callum jumped in, didn't he? So Adam's returning the favour, I guess. But yeah, Callum wants the big names. We've had Caroline Dubois up in Barnsley a couple of times, and it's worked well. But he wants the big names on the card. I think he's looking at the card, thinking that, if I'm honest, with conversations that we had. But Adam coming on it, it's a bit of star power, a bit of stardust to the card, and yeah, it's only going to help with Callum's numbers.
Now, a heavyweight everyone's talking about at the moment, Moses Atoma, knocking out people left, right and centre at the age of 19. Apparently, Frank is looking for opponents for him. Would you perhaps put some... Here he is, Callum Simpson joining us.
It's Betfred, you know?
You know us all too well, mate. We never leave you alone, mate.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, that's
I'll come speak to you. We have had a few calls. Martin McCauley wants to fight. We'd like the fight.
That's the one I was going to bring up.
We want the fight. You know, sometimes you don't know whether someone's bluffing. You know, we get a lot of calls, and it's actually been the other way around. Once Martin's been called out, we're ready for the fight. But I don't know whether it's just to create interest. You know, I think. Send over a proper offer, and as I say, Martin's ready to go.
Just finally, because I know you're being whisked away, quick fire prediction, Simpson, Zucco, how does it go?
Simpson late stoppage.
Great stuff. Ben Shalom, thank you.
Cheers, thank you.